Hello everyone. Welcome. Wait, let me start recording. Oh no, there we go. Hello, welcome to the Small Gamer. I'm your host Rob, and I'm having a terrible day. Sorry that we're late. Hello to Nathan and Simon Speckles. How are you both?
Hello, I'm okay. I'm sorry to hear you're having a bad day.
Oh, that's very, very caring of you. I appreciate that. No, I'm not having a bad day. Just we've had to rush getting all the equipment sorted out. So let me just get that. There we go. I reckon because we can see each other now like this.
We can.
Which is more better, I think.
Sure. More better.
Yeah. Okay. And then what we also are using some new microphones. We're sorry the late for Grima Luvo. I saw Luvo at the weekend. So
Luvo's a ledge.
If Nathan, so I have now directional microphones literally pointed at Nathan.
Yeah.
So again, if this doesn't work out, I apologise. Because
I'm sure they could hear me before.
Huh?
They can, but you tend to swing away.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it betterer. This is what we're aiming for. So, hello, welcome to the Small Gamer. I'm your host, Rob. It's Monday night, it's AOS, and I'm joined by two wonderful people, the gorgeous Nathan Prescott.
Hello.
And the lovely and wonderful, but rubbish at Warhammer, Mr. Simon Speckles.
But I beat the grots.
Okay, that's going to be the story of the day. Hook and Pin, thanks for putting our jet emoji in the chat. Luvo, symbol. And now we just need a pen to keep Nathan in, that's true. We're going to... there's Jet the dog.
Real Jet.
There
Jet emoji. Way.
Jet emoji.
That's all he cares about. That's all anyone cares about is jets.
So yeah, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. As always, thank you to everyone on Patreon and Twitch. You guys help us do the show this weekend. We're able to do some coverage from Bloodtithe, so I just want to say thank you for that. And you guys are always just doing the cool shit, right?
Yeah.
Donal was like, it was like, oh, when we do the Six Nations coverage, I was like, oh, we'll stream all 8 tables of a match, and he was like, is that possible? And I was like, we have the technology. But that will only be thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting us. So many cameras with all of our quattro.
Nice.
Yeah. So Wesdy, John P, Notorious Big Sean, all the way from over in Kiwi land. Yeah, lovely. Eyeglasses, Hellstorm, Dan, Lukewarm, Dasmall. Dasmall, did you find that podcast? I hope you did. Dasmall asked me about the Legion of Asgore podcast. He's like, where is it? I need to hear all
There's a podcast, a whole podcast for it.
Yeah, so I actually don't tell you to, but I actually have my own podcast.
It must be by you.
Yeah, it's just me.
No one else.
It's just me, just talking into it. And every episode is just another review of the same battle. Hook and Pin, thank you for donating 350 bits. I need to turn that off there. That's cool. That's
just trigger.
And also, yes, welcome to the Small Gamer, the award-winning show.
Multi-award winning.
Yeah.
We've won one award.
Well, yeah.
The award-winning, singular. Thank you for making sure that you point out that it's one award.
Well, I thought he was going to go with it, but he went, no, let's be honest. I mean...
right.
The show and all.
First off, so the subjects we're going to be covering today are we're going to talk about the news, and then we're going to talk about Bloodtithe from this weekend, and that's all we're going to do today. That's okay with everyone?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, cool.
So how did he get on searching for that? Because I've got to search for one of ours. Because we did one on secondary objectives, didn't we? At some stage.
We did.
Yeah.
They should all be named.
I should search for that.
Did you search via the name?
I've not bothered searching.
How did you find it?
I've just suddenly
send it me.
I just suddenly thought, oh, that's a great idea. I should search for something like that secondaries one, because apparently we're using secondaries at some stage in our lives.
What, Adepticon?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. So it would be good too, yes, to learn what the secondaries are. Okay, so I'm so uncomfortable. I'm in a new spot and I feel so weird. You guys, right? Okay. So, hi Donaldinho. So let's talk about before we go any further. How are you two? How's Age of Sigmar and you? Speckles?
AOS is amazing. I'm tired.
You played this weekend, didn't you?
I did.
So we'll come to you later. Yeah. Did you play anything other than this weekend?
For the weekend before.
Yeah.
And the weekend before. Mm-hmm. And the weekend before. Just been playing a lot of games.
You played 3 weekends in a row.
4.
Whoa?
4.
Would you say it's caused you woe the 3 week? Oh fuck! Would you say it's caused you woe the 3 weekends in a row?
4 weekends.
No.
He just said 4.
It did well. It caused me a lot of fun, and from Donal's comment there saying, "Oh shit, it's Speckles." Oh yes, I'm pretty sure we'll talk about why you're saying that. So.
Oh baby, Mere Mouse, good evening. Gruzmlag, thank you very much for subscribing. That is very hard. Counting is hard. You're correct. It's really tough.
What's harder, counting or colours?
Don't know.
Oh my god, you really did. Right, chat. So we've just done about 8 different takes with the mics, and he's like, so you've got the green cable, which is in front of him, and 8 times he's then forgot to take it off mute, and he's wondering why it's not working.
It's working now.
Now you just got off mute.
So that should sound even better than it just did a second ago.
So in the chat, if anyone wants to say colour.
So one of the things people keep bringing up is the sound on the show. So we're trying really hard to improve the sound. I have a couple of issues with the sound, and that's
muting. Muting seems to be one of them.
Well, yeah, there's that. But hey, Hawkeye, hi, Drew So-called, and what is my show hosts, specifically Nathan and Tom. Yeah, so you see this? I have a microphone where I just talk into it, and it's fine. I had to get special microphones to follow people around who don't want to stay in one place as you. So I'm hoping. B Chad, thank you very much for subscribing. Appreciate that. So him and Tom.
Swinging away.
So hopefully we should get the sound so it's at a place where you guys are in a way, like you guys are getting a better podcast experience, or just better podcast show for
those guys.
Well, everyone.
So can they hear us now?
I think yeah. Is there a tactic spotlight with Speckles today? And then Pete says, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Speckles is on. I'm going to catch you next week."
That's nice.
Yeah. Right.
You too, Pete.
Have you done any Warhammer in the past week, Nate?
Just painting. I've finished painting Scragrot the Loon King.
Mm-hmm.
So he's done. I've looked at all the base sizes. Got to rebase half my fucking army because the base size chart is wank. So there you go.
Just be a rebel. Just presume that he's right.
Will you explain? You can explain to everyone what do you mean by the base size chart and what's happened?
There's a FAQ base size chart. I've just realised to find out today that giants are on a really tiny little base.
Giants?
Yeah.
What, the strongest giants in all the land?
The bestest
the
of
fake
all,
destroyers.
of all
oh
things.
My god! Yeah, the flesh eater courts killers.
Yeah. Although that could explain why he beat me if they were on wrong size bases.
No, you lost to giants because you're rubbish.
I'm just clutching at straws, to be honest. The size of the base could.
Nigel beat one person at Sheffield saw with giants, and it was you. Yes. With flesh eater courts.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Hi, Life After the Cover Save. WS10 Pete says he loves you. And then also Tristan, our mod, is in the chat along with Denise, and Jonathan earlier was like, make me a mod, so Tristan can't keep adding me.
He muted me, so he can't do it here. You mute me, but.
Right, so have you done? So you painted the Loon King.
Yeah.
What else have you done?
Loon King's painted. I finished painting Zarbag's Gits, so they're all done. Rebased my Madcap Shamans because now they were on 32s, so now they've gone on to 25s.
Okay.
And then I've hunted around to find this weird size base for the fucking giant.
What size base is it? 105? Did you say?
No,
oval?
it's 90 by 52 oval.
That's Corpse Cart base, I think.
Is it?
Roughly, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right, good. Why do you have to rebase it? Are you planning on taking one to Adepticon?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so angry at you right now. Why are you taking the giant?
Because you know the big fake. Obviously.
I'm inspired by Speckles.
When you see the fake playing, I know how to beat them.
Oh, Mick Wendell, thanks for donating 100 bits.
And I need to see Mick Wendell soon.
Also, hi Denise, and also thank you everyone for just timing out everyone in the show. Our moderators, by the way, are we've got a load of mods. Obviously, Tom from 40k Shows there. Big up, Tom, you big lover. Also, Mark Brooks, thank you very much for donating $10 via Patreon.
Awesome,
oh, nice.
That's cool.
And thanks to Nick Wendell. Well.
Yes, for the 100 bits. Yeah, that's
amazing.
You guys are great. So everyone be cautious of our new Twitch moderators because they're very much like this show, uncontrollable and wild. Hi,
spinning in chairs, pressing buttons.
Hi, Paul Bastion Games, you big Brucey. They are, but please don't bully the chat. So you're going to take a giant to Adepticon.
Yeah.
So me and Nathan are going to Adepticon in 3 weeks. Why are you taking a giant?
Because they're cool.
Why not?
That's fine. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm taking a Vermin Lord Corruptor and also the Warp Lightning Vortex.
I'm going to put your Vermin Lord Corrupt Planet's Vortex in my pants.
Your giant pants. And just rub it all around. Okay. What else are you taking in your Adepticon list? Have you decided?
No. Well, I've written my list for the 1,000 points doubles thing. So that's going to be Zarbag and his Gits and loads of endless spells.
Zarbag and his Gits?
Yeah.
And loads of endless spells?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a wicked 1,000-point double list.
What is it? If
I'll
you
let
say
Nathan.
2 dragons, I'll be so triggered.
2 dragons.
Go on, Lee.
You probably just take 4 dragons and that would be
Yeah. One's unmounted. I mean, I need the battle line. So
Yeah. So, what are you taking in your list? This is 1,000 points or 2,000 points?
The 1,000 point list is
Okay.
Zarbag and his Gits. Some more Gits, a couple more Shamans, and just loads of endless spells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Nice.
what about 2,000?
It just depends on what I get painted in time. So, but it'll probably be quite a few Gits, quite a few Shamans, a Gargant, and some endless spells.
A Gargant.
A Gargant.
A Gargant. Okay. Alright.
A small gargant.
That sounds terrible. But fine.
Oh, and loads of Fanatics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of taking a really weird list actually the other day.
In fact, there's loads of Fanatics in the 1,000 point list too.
How many? 10?
10.
Okay. Is that loads?
Yes.
That seems loads.
For 1,000 points, that's loads, yeah.
Yeah. And then Bill Sousa in the chat, the Ghoul King himself.
Ooh.
Your own personal hero, Speckles.
I want to know what Paul thinks about Feck versus Giants. Has he had any problems? Has he fought the...
Who?
Bill.
Bill?
Yeah, Bill. Sorry, Bill. Yeah. Has he had any problems with fighting gargants?
Has Bill Sousa,
the
really
Ghoul
talented
King.
American
Yeah.
Warhammer player, had trouble beating giants?
But if
with
he
his
says
fishing
yes, then Nathan's onto a golden winner. So I'll put that question out there. If you can tell me how to beat them.
Giants?
Yeah.
Easily.
I
You
mean,
just move away from them while they fell over.
for this one I went straight 2 and then it did nothing.
Jim980 says, my mate Steve Gibbs took an old metal giant to CanCon and it didn't fall over in-game all weekend. It did fall off a piece of terrain and shat it into 8 pieces. So afterwards it was just a large pair of hollow trousers.
In which you could put lots of things.
Yeah. Bill says he has had no giant woes yet. So Nathan, this is for you to storm America with the giant meta.
So have you decided on your lists?
Yes, well, maybe. So I've been, as everyone knows, I've been taking a core kind of Chaos Dwarf army. So 70 Fireglaves, the 12 Kadai, and then an ugly Bull Centaur Turok, and then a Demon Smith, and then I was going to add on to that a Verminor Corruptor, Geminids, and the Lightning Vortex spell, and that puts me at 1940. So I've got a command point in case someone tries to alpha me. Looking at you, flashing your cords.
It sounds like a very fun, fluffy list
Yeah.
that you've got going.
But I was thinking of potentially dropping. Oh, and there's an extra 10 Fireglaves in there as well. But I was thinking of dropping the 10 Fireglaves, well, 20 Fireglaves in total, and then taking the endless, taking a Zangor Shaman on disc, and then the endless Bale Taurus spell, and then taking like Skaven, just so taking the Bale Taurus spell and that, and then just throwing it into my opponent's force early doors. And then double that up with Shackles and Geminids.
Yeah.
But it sounds too much fun. I'm too excited. So I don't know.
Sounds fun for you.
It does sound really fun, but I don't really know if it would be any good because it's still quite hard to cast the spell. It's quite hard. It's quite hard to cast the Warp Lightning Vortex. But having seen it this weekend at Bloodtithe, where everyone who used it said it was game changing, and there was a moment I walked over where Darren had done when Darren designed his army lists. I assume he's like a mad scientist, And then that moment in a movie where you see someone who's finally concocted all of the items together and he goes, huzzah! There was a moment where he did this. Look what I've done! Everything is movement 1 and it's trapped inside the vortex. Ha ha! And the guy who played it was like, it's true, that has happened and it fucking sucks.
My army will move along the vortex hole.
Yeah, so that was really interesting watching this weekend. So yeah, but the White Wall Lightning Vortex is a game-winning spell.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right. So anything else to add before we go on to the news?
No, that's it for hobby.
So big news is that the Khorne Battletome is about. I think it's going on pre-order this weekend.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So Khorne Battletome, and it's they're getting their own piece of scenery.
Yeah.
Which helps with the endless prayers. They're getting endless prayers.
More stuff that I can't dispel.
More stuff you can't dispel. That's true. So endless prayers, and then the piece of scenery they have is going to help.
Are they prayers?
Yeah. Endless prayers.
How will that work then? So
they're undispellable.
That's
Yeah,
just going
but I thought they were summoned to the
Yeah.
battlefield. So
Via a prayer.
via prayer or via summoning points?
A prayer, I think. That's what I read.
Oh, okay.
Could be
It's
wrong.
just going to be. It's going to be difficult to take off. Like, there's no unspellable, dispellable spells, right?
No.
None at the minute.
No.
That's
No,
game
no,
changing.
well, yeah, well, they're not spells, are they? these
No, they're
days?
prayers.
But there's no physical prayers, are there? Not
Uh,
yet.
No.
I
Oh my
suppose-
god! I just thought of something.
So yeah, someone said Grumlazag says a Khorne spells will probably require Bloodtithe points to keep on the field instead of dispelling. That could be.
That'd be quite
There
cool,
could be a
yeah.
cost. That's
Yeah.
quite cool.
I just thought Daughters of Cain will get something like that.
Pardon me?
Daughters of Cain could get something like that.
A
Which would
prayer?
just full on trigger me to the max.
You're super triggered by Daughters of Cain, right?
As well, I can't kill them, and if I can't dispel their spells either.
But so yeah, there are 3 endless prayers, and there's a scenery piece. Scenery piece is quite cool. Scenery piece is quite cool, I think. And then it said, because it said that they're also summonable via slaughter priests, which is why I think it's
Yeah.
a prayer base. And
Yeah,
I think
it could be.
yeah, they look cool.
Yeah.
They look cool, and it did say that one of them was an anti-magic spell prayer, and that the scenery piece itself was anti-magic. So that might be quite a nice balancing factor to the raw output that the Skaven can do.
Yeah.
Because for me, Skaven can just cast way too well, way too easy.
So good.
Yeah, like very reliably, right?
Yeah, massively. Yeah.
Yeah. So
The throne, the Khorne throne, is very similar to the Flesh-Eater Court one, I think.
Or charming throne thing.
Yeah. When I looked at it, I was like, it's a Khorne version of what I have.
the altar.
Yeah.
It's a sacrificial altar. It looks quite cool, I think.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
It does, but it looks like they could have done a whole altar with like a slab of something to do the sacrificing, but they've just gone throne.
Ooh, Speckles throwing the modelling shade out.
I just think it could have done different.
A dude I donated 250 bits. Speckles now not rubbish at Warhammer.
Oh, I was.
And then
don't
Jim
worry.
Knighty and Nathan, you've got to be excited about this because obviously Khorne getting endless prayers. Anyone that has a faction that doesn't have any wizards in, so Kharadron Overlords, Dispossessed, people that don't have any wizards of note, Zinch, they may potentially be getting their own. I mean, all their wizards just are lame, right? So they all may be getting endless. Are you excited about dispossessed runic spells?
Getting some runes.
It
That
could
would
be a
cool.
speed spell.
I would like if all of the dispossessed endless prayers were all movement 4.
Hard movement of everything around it.
It makes your opponent's army movement 4.
Welcome to our
You just summon it on the board, and it's like every unit in every army is now movement 4, and then everyone's like, "Oh, this sucks," and you're like, "This is the best." Run, boys! That'd be fun. Only endless grudges is what they'd be called.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Okay, all right, yeah. So we don't know loads of details at the minute, obviously. It would be nice to get the Khorne book. It would be nice to have all of the different rules and FAQs all stuck into one. I'm really hoping Skarak from Forge World gets his points at least looked at, or his rules updated a bit, because he did have it when AOS 2 came around, but he's still way too expensive, especially in the new Flesh-Eater Courts meta.
Yeah. Smidge.
Well, the interesting thing about Nathan, I don't know if you. So I was talking to Laurie this weekend. Mr. Hugget-Wigger himself, and we've decided now that the Frostheart Phoenix is absolutely okay.
What?
Because the dragon has made the Phoenix okay.
What, the Flesh-Eater Core Dragon?
Yeah.
No. Not in a million years.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, Nathan, what do you think?
No.
Have you?
Sounds bullshit.
I need to find out. Have you actually played against Flesh-Eater Courts yet?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, you mean
Since
the new?
book, yeah.
No.
all this hate and you've never played against it.
I don't hate them.
Well,
I've just seen them in game. I'm absolutely fine with flesh eater courts as long as no one ever cast that fucking vortex at me. Yeah, like
A vortex.
The endless spell from Skaven, lightning vortex.
Oh yeah.
No, that is the worst, most hilarious piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. It's great.
Well, flesh eater courts. No, I suppose it depends. But if you had that vortex going with the blood chalice thing, so everything dying around would then be re-healed at the exact same time because of the chalice.
Yeah.
So nothing would die.
Yeah, but you can't ally stuck. Yeah, but you can't ally Skaven. Oh, you mean
no? If we fought against each other, Skaven and Fack, if those were together, they'd just kill and heal the whole way through. That'd be quite cool.
So Darren in the chat is saying that positive. So Darren, positive victim in the chat, Darren who was using it for the entire weekend, says it's fucking nuts.
I've gone against it. It's fucking painful.
Yeah. So I'm not stressed by it. I'm fine. But the Phoenix is fine now. It's been officially decided.
No, it's not. Fuck
what
off.
you
I don't have a dragon, do I? So fuck off.
so the Phoenix is only fine if you have a Flesh Eater Courts dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, and because you have Flesh Eater Courts dragon, how do you feel about the Phoenix?
It's still fucking ridiculous.
Oh, what, man?
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah. I think it's fine now, personally.
Because it's got... Yeah, because it doesn't can't take mortal wounds, can it? Oh wait, it can.
Yeah, OJ in the chat says after a weekend I can confirm the vortex is a triggering triangle of fuckery. Yeah, I was trying to think of a clever name today on the train back, the Bermuda Triangle or but I couldn't think of it. It needs. I mean, the triggering triangle of fuckery is good, but it's a lot. That's a lot of words.
Trigger triangle.
The trigger triangle. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
The trigger triangle.
As soon as it's down, you trigger.
I'm about to cast the trigger triangle. Trigger it in the hero
when
phase.
You go.
Trigger it in the movement phase. Yeah.
I'm about to cast the trigger triangle.
I think everyone should just do this.
Yeah.
Just go. I'm in my hero phase. Casting this.
No.
They could give me that ogre battle tome, says Grasmalag, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Colonel Cameron says, I inflicted half movement to my dispossessed friend the other week with the mask. His response, that's fine, I've already done all my movement for the game. And that might be a really solid strategy to the new debuffing movement kind of
just
strategy.
Run as far as you want to go.
Well, no, just design an army that never has to move anywhere.
It's okay, I'm fine where I am.
Thank you very much. Shackles, you'd be like, that's fine, I already plan to stay where I am.
I'm here.
You come to me. That's how this game works.
Oh, okay. Sunny says, question, what's going to come first, the Slanesh book or the redone Tzeentch and Maggotkin? I think it's going to be
It's got to be Slanesh.
It's got to be Slanesh, right?
Yeah. Okay. Nurgle's pretty good anyway. It's pretty new.
No, Nurgle?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Khorne come out, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain that's all the news ATM. There's some new announcement from Games Workshop this weekend at some event that they're at, which is exciting. But
I think the next 3 days they've got
they've got
releasing stuff.
Yeah, they're at some place. Someone earlier on wrote Seraphon. What did they say? Seraphon Shadespire team, and I was like, I'm in. But that's not like anything I know.
Do you think they were just overly too big, the dinosaurs in the Shadespire one? Because in the AOS they're too small.
No, they are small in AOS.
Yeah, we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, they're just so small.
Yeah, compared to some of the new stuff.
I mean, you've got a Bastillodon, and then stick it next to like the cabbage. They're just like a little tiny version.
Yeah, the Stegodon is tiny. I would like it if they released just an even bigger Stegodon kit. They were like, these are now baby Stegodons. That would be really cool. Cute and clever. I was like, oh, nice. Okay, nice. I like the way you've gone with it. And then Household Dan says, any word on Tyrion and Teclis release? Nah, no one cares, do they? Selves.
A couple of dicks.
Okay, good. All right, so let's move. Should we talk about Bloodtithe this weekend?
Yeah.
If you guys are interested.
Yeah.
Speckles attended, Nathan did not attend, and I was there doing some coverage. So, Bloodtithe is an international team tournament run by Mark Wilson, or you can find him on Twitter at WarbossWilson.
Yeah.
Cool bloke.
Yeah, cool bloke. It's in a very fancy hotel.
I told you it was.
Very fancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't you play there at Bloodtithe last year?
No. So yeah, it was super fancy. It was a super fancy event. The tables were lovely. Scenery was great. Hand dryers were so sweet.
Really?
And did you notice you didn't have to push a button for the toilet? It just auto flushed.
Yeah.
Less germs.
Yeah. See, I know you get the hard hitting facts at this.
Until Rob sprays them around the place.
The only bad thing I have to say is that they like for anyone from Nottingham, it seemed like the drinks were. I ordered a coffee and they were like, "That'll be a small child, please," and I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, alcohol. It's a small child plus a house.
Yeah, but that would be my only. But there was like free water all weekend, bottled water as well, like sparkling if you so wished. Yeah, so that was nice. I obviously didn't play. I was in attendance, so I did loads of interviews, which will be coming out over the next couple of days.
Cool.
I edited them on my train ride down or back from London today. So they'll go up, and then I did some kind of in-field reporting stuff. So I'm going to mash that up as a kind of a thing. Speckles, we'll talk about your games in a bit and what it was like being a team captain and all of that.
I was a captain.
Can I get another drink?
Well, as soon as I was captain, somebody offered me breast pumps.
Please, if I have to listen to Speckles being captain.
I was captain, less than a few hours, and then somebody offered me breast pumps from the captain chat. I mean,
what? Velotron.
That's just throwing you off, hasn't it?
Donaldinho says, "I have a bottle of that water. It's delish." So Donaldinho stole a couple of bottles of water, which is the right decision, I think. But yeah, the venue was awesome. Like when people were like chilling out, I was doing some interviews on the Friday and the Saturday in the kind of like atrium part. It was just lovely. Like it was genuine. It felt a bit odd to be playing Warhammer in.
It's high class.
Yeah, and the hotel had done something very sweet where they put signs up where they just put war games with an arrow, and I was like, and there were loads of international people coming and like walking around, and I was like, this is quite funny.
All the pipe, I thought that was coming across. I'm like, whoa, just wafted that into my mouth.
Let's try to use this professional thing.
Oh, don't talk.
Right. So what? Oh wow. So that's meaty. If anyone's wondering what's happened, if anyone would like to use their jet emojis in the chat, the whole show has been derailed by a dog fart.
Airbrush mask.
Dunade has also donated 100 bits. Thank you, Dunade, to buy Speckles a flano.
Fuck yeah. I do need to get one.
So there were 25 teams.
Yes,
there were 25 teams playing at the event, and what was really cool that Mark's done is he's got. I think there was something as a split. I think it was something like 13-11, so 13 kind of like home teams, so the UK, and 11 international teams. But you had 4 French teams, a Swedish team, a Norwegian team. More on that later. There was a German team. There was a Greek team, which was cool, and I think that's all. I think that's all. Oh, and there was obviously a Northern Irish team.
Sorry. There is one team that told me specifically at the end that they were really hoping for the best international, and that was Team Wales. Wales counted as international.
They were an international team, and also 24 teams, 25.
Yes, as near my states. Team Wales.
Yeah, so Team Wales in the chat, and everyone's just throwing some jet emojis with the fire.
There's a lot more fire in here now.
Yeah, and Mark, the team captain of Wales, is like, we are Globetrotters, so that's true. So that was awesome, and I think Mark deserves loads of praise for that, realistically. Because it was just ace, and probably one of my highlights was meeting the Greek team, because they were charming, they were just crazy charming. Jonathan Atland, thanks for subscribing, and also Hook and Pin, thanks for 510 bits to buy gas mask for the team when Jet lets on go.
Hazmat suit might do.
They were the Greek team were just a personal highlight. I didn't get much chance to talk to the German team. But obviously Northern Irish team were great.
I talked to the Germans quite a lot. They're such a great team. I played them last year. We didn't meet them this year in a game, but such great blokes. Really were. Really good guys. The captain's awesome as well. Yeah, the Swedish team were amazing and good representatives. They were really fun to hang out with, and they brought an awesome. So they had decided. Yeah. So their team was that was themed. And it had what's up, Rob?
It had four players with 4 of the Chaos Gods, and then their display board was all 4 of the Chaos God, all on one display board. It looked awesome.
It looks amazing, and then Archeon from the back as well. It was so good.
Yeah, he was just a piece of the display board, then, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Minus one round.
Like
Nah,
he
keep
should
him in the
be.
display board.
Stupid dick.
He'll be at the front when he gets -2.
Like the guys in the chat saying, the Greek fellas, they play in tournaments attended by 8 regulars, and they were in for their shot at first place in round 5.
Wow.
So one of the cool things about the weekend is both players individually and teams themselves were capped at a score. So the maximum a player could score would be 30 points, and the maximum a team could score from 4 players would be 100 points.
Yes.
There was also a bottom, so that if you
If you lost, you got 5 points.
you got 50.
Oh no, but each
As a player,
50,
yeah. So like you had a bottom end score as
Yeah.
well, which is cool. So it meant that it was actually really, really tense going into the very final round because there were 5 or so teams that could potentially win the tournament.
Oh, wow.
So they were all, and then each game was tense.
It was. You could see the tense, like it was building up, going, we could win this from a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot.
Which was really fun.
Yeah.
And then as people were slowly like losing games and winning games, people were like, yes, and this one was like, I'm throwing it for my team, fuck.
And then there's other teammate that wins, and I'm like, oh, we're not done it yet.
Haley Bromley, hey Bruce Hammer. So it honestly, like the team environment. This is the quick review before we get into it in maybe minutia. The team environment mentality of it, like, so again, when I put the interviews out, you'll see the kind of a constant question. I was like, team matches versus individuals. How do you prefer? And everyone was like, I prefer these. These are better.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, to be
So
fair,
now, what are your experiences?
well, I mean, with my team that I didn't have, and I didn't meet my team until I arrived at the hotel.
Yeah.
So it was quite strange, but there were 3 really, really great guys. There's Max, Sam, and Chris, and they were amazing. They just they had a lot of fun. I hope they had a lot of fun. I mean, they had me as captain, so we're not really going there for competitive, but you kind of bond well.
Yeah.
And it's not so much of I hope everyone else loses so I do well. It's, I hope my team, it brings you together a lot better.
Yeah.
And you want to do well, not for yourself, but you want to help everybody. But then if anyone's doing bad, everyone tends to go, no, don't worry about it, it's okay, we've got it on this side. And it kind of removes quite a lot of the, I feel shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still, obviously, when you lose, it's quite bad.
It's still a bummer, but
Yeah.
Raken's in the chat. He says, hello, Captain. Captain. Speckle's the worst player in all of Warhammer. Why would you choose him as your captain?
Because no one else was left. No, I think it was me and Max, and I think Mark knows me, and that was it. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I drove up here last week, and it just pinged on my phone going, you are the team captain. I'm like, this is going to be bad.
Household Diamond in the chat, Nathan is asking, can I be in Team Zimbabwe?
sounds like a great idea. We should get one of those teams going now.
I think we should do it for Six Nations. I've said this for 3 years now.
What, Team Zimbabwe?
Yes.
Okay.
I will.
Six Nations. They'd have to make it 7 nations then. Wouldn't
No, 6 and the best.
And the best nation.
And the best.
Again, as pointed out, odd numbers at tournaments doesn't make sense.
Well,
So it would have to become 8 nations.
fine. The best and the worst. Done.
Which team are we added into that? So we're going to look at the winning teams list and lists in a minute and have a chat about that, which is fun.
Sorry, just reading out. Hawkeye's put, the best name ever for one of my team players is called Max Pounder.
He is. Yeah.
Well, I nicknamed him the Hulk the whole way through.
The Hulk.
Yeah. Oh no, he was Wolverine. We had Wolverine,
Yeah.
Groot, the Hulk, and Doctor Strange. We were
Which one were you?
proud. I'm the one with the weird shaped head. I'm Doctor Strange. Because whenever you say, you look a little bit like Benjamin Cumberbatch. Oh, cheers. He's got a weird shaped head. Yeah, he does.
Donald Dino, the organiser of Six Nations this year, has said, that's Wales gone then. Welcome Team Zimbabwe.
Are you sure you want to? Are you sure you want me there again? You sure you want to play a team tournament with me there again?
I think. Well, what does Donald? We'll talk about that in a bit. Meermouse, the captain of Team Wales, is quite upset about his team being kicked out live on air. But that's fine. Right. Let's do a bit of a. Should we do a bit of a cut, and then you guys we'll see the lists.
Yeah.
So the winning team ended up being 4 Masters and 1 Cup.
Not the winners. Not the winners.
Not the winners. Not the winners. If you guys might be able to see it on your screen now.
Yes.
Can you guys see it? Cool. Let's talk about so these guys won, and it came down to the victory came down to the uncapped points. So these and the Marauders.
Yeah.
Of which there were 2 teams of Marauders there. They capped on all their points. They got all their secondaries. They got their tertiaries. And then Mark wasn't tracking kill points because he didn't think that was unfair.
Yeah.
So it came down to uncapped points in the end. So it was like super close, which is really interesting, right? Yeah.
So did they all get the matchups that they wanted in the last round and all that sort of stuff? Or was that a very important thing, you reckon?
So the matchup seemed quite important as things went on, but one of the games that I was tracking, in the final round, or a match that I really enjoyed watching, was Paul Buckler's Army versus Tom Maudsley's Skaven. So it was Paul Buckler's incredible Seraphon.
Yeah.
Like he's got just
amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
Really, really cool.
Like, and there were games that I just wanted. Like, I was a bit not pissed off, but I was like I wanted to just like stop time and be like, I want to film this game the entire way through. So for round 5, but that was all weekend. But when I'm talking about round 5 specifically, I kind of kept flitting between 3 or 4 different games. So I kept flitting between Tom Maudsley's game against Paul Buckler's Seraphon, so Skaven versus Seraphon, because that was really interesting. Then there was Tony Moore versus Laurie, which was really interesting.
Cool.
The round before, Steve Curtis and Dan Bradshaw's game was real cool as well, because Dan ended up losing that, which is the only game he lost over the weekend.
So the game is his streak. He had like a 40-win streak.
Like a crazy streak. So Steve Curtis ended that. So Kingslayer. So that was interesting. But that was round 4. And then Dan smashed it back on round 5. But then there was Rick Myhill's list versus Ben Savers Bone Splitters, which was really really fascinating. And then Darren was playing against. So Darren Watson was playing against the Greek George. Yanis. I'm almost certain it was, and if I got that wrong, I'm sorry. But Yanis has a 12 Pterodon army. Yeah, 12 Pterodons in a Seraphon. But what was amazing was at the start of their game, Yanis was saying that he'd got into Warhammer like a year and a half ago, because Darren's a very animated gamer. And I'm not being shy about the fact I kind of fanboy over watching him play, because he's very animated. Some people are, right? And I find that interesting. That's not to take anything away from people who aren't. But Yanis is, if anything, I hope I'm getting this right, as animated. Right? Yeah, right. And
dancing on the tables.
And the joy from each other's face is like, I've rolled some 4s, and he's like, I have. Below average, above average. Like, honestly, I'm really happy. But what was really cute, at the start of the game was him saying that he'd read all of Darren's blog posts on Lustry Online, which is a Seraphon only. Well, it used to be a Lizardman, but like a Seraphon only forum, and he's read every single article, and his army looked great, but it was incredibly cute. I've read everything you've ever done. I'm your biggest fan. Right? And then,
I'll sign it.
And it was just amazing to watch. And then halfway through, because 12 Pterodons, sorry, I was like, okay, let's watch this match.
This is going to do something.
This is interesting. I went over, and at one point I looked at Aaron and I was like, because the 12 Pterodons had just dropped 15 mortal wounds to his Vermalor Corruptor, who hadn't cast a spell. Right, and then he hadn't been able to summon his Deceiver because he was able to get up to Skaven. Right, and there was another guy that could have cast a spell, but basically the Endless Vortex was basically in trouble because there was some Skaven characters not available. Yeah. So he does 15 mortal wounds to the Corruptor, and then he kills him in combat. At the same time, he almost kills Be'lakor in combat at the same time. And I looked at Darren and I was like,
Pterodon.
This is a bit
Pterodon meta.
I was like, you might be losing this. But that was it was amazing to watch, because they were both so enthusiastic, but at the same time watching someone who travelled, and as he said, in quite a small gaming group, and I've done an interview with those guys, so when it does come out you should check it out. Quite a small gaming group, and he's practiced for a year and a half, and he's got this book. So funny. He's like, I've got this book, and every mistake I do, I write in it every single mistake.
I did massive book. like the original old school 90s Yellow Pages on a book.
But so then there was that, and like I said, there was the My Hills against Savin. They were charging and doing that fight. There was another, and also Paul Bastian, gorgeous man, great shirt, and he had a really interesting matchup against a Thricehold Defilement at the end, which I thought was interesting. I also would have loved to watch his game versus Dave Kane, because Paul was effectively using a similar list to Dave, and they're really good friends, but then they got drawn in a mirror match at one point. So it was a Court of New Laumia like double dragon Coven Throne build, and they both had the matchup, and it was a mirror match for the king of deciding who was the King of Ireland.
And who was the King of Ireland?
Pardon me?
Who was the King of Ireland?
Dave. Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah.
when we played him, I'm the King of Ireland.
Joyously, he told everyone, I think. So it was, honest. If anything, as always, the thing I walked away from that weekend was I would have loved to have done coverage, as always, because those games were amazing, and I'm sure the players can probably give a better description of those games than I ever could, but it looked like it was also really nice not doing coverage to just watch intently how much fun people were having, and they were all having a fucking blast. Like the Marauders were all out there having a great time. Like everyone just looked like
it was the atmosphere was just always good the whole weekend. So there was, I mean, and we went out as I tend to do on a tournament, go out after and we met up with the French team and the Irish team and the Bruces, obviously the Bruces. And it was a wicked night. I mean, we were a bit gutted the Germans didn't come out, but they didn't realise where we were. But it's nice just talking random things with random people, and knowing you're playing against them tomorrow maybe, but who cares? It's just fun. Everybody wanted to have fun together.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was good. Bunch of globalists. I loved it. Right, so the winning team ended up being Four Masters One Cup. That was the team name, which consisted of a kind of a who's who. So you've got Darren Watson, the team captain, Dan Bradshaw, Will Barton, and of course Mr. Wonderful Dan Ford. Yeah, so just a bunch of absolute champs.
Yeah.
So quickly run you through the lists if you're interested.
Because it's very small outside of me and anything like
so you guys can see it up on the screen. So Darren was running a Verminlord Corruptor who was his general. Oh God, I'm going to have to take my mic.
Even you're small.
It was a bit small for me. Then he was running,
a Grey Seer, and then another Grey Seer, and then Kairos Fateweaver, then Be'lakor, then Mask of Slanesh, and my eyesight's far better than yours when I'm looking at this. Then 40 clan rats, 20 clan rats, 20 clan rats, and lots of endless spells.
Endless spells were Warp Lightning, Vortex, Umbriel Spell Portal, Chromatic Cogs, and the Shackles.
Yeah, so not to take away from so how I saw him work with this weekend was which was really nice, was Fateweaver basically had so many uses it could have. So basically would use Be'lakor, and this is not talking for him, and I'm hoping at some point I get to interview him and ask him. Be'lakor picks a unit and then it has to do a 4+ to
stop it doing something.
To charge, to attack, to shoot for that phase. So he has to roll a 4 up to be able to do something, which is massive. And then if he really wants to shut something down, he can use Fateweaver at some point to choose that to be something, right? So he can just decide at some point. So he's got that in the pocket. Then he's got the Grace. So he's got the Gracie on the Screaming Bell, and obviously if he rolls a 12, so if he rolls any natural 6s, he can use Kairos, turn it into another 6, and get a free Verminlord. Right,
wow.
So and often there would be a Deceiver that would come up, which would be fun as well. The Corruptor was just obviously fantastic for what it can cast, and then the Grey Seer would cast Warp Lightning Vortex, and this way it gets really dark because the Mask of Slanesh, if it's near a unit or several units, it halves their movement. Then if he casts Soul Snare Shackles, it halves their movement, and then they're surrounded by the Warp Lightning Vortex. So if you ever gave them the first turn, basically we just go boom boom. You can't move, and now everything takes 1 billion mortal wounds.
It just shuts you down.
And it was just crazy fun to watch, and it was like mad and really interesting. I'm pretty certain Darren won 5 games as well. So,
I think so. I think every time I saw him, it was like, it was great. I've won. It's great. It's a great game.
It was. So yeah, the mask affects every enemy unit within 12 inches.
Wow,
that's big range.
Half their movement.
Wow. That's nasty. That is. Yeah.
Yeah, So
I hope Max is watching this. Remember that for his Slanesh army.
What, Max Pounder?
Yeah, Max Pounder.
All right.
Hold the movement and pound them hard. Why not?
And then Dan Bradshaw, who is just on a fire streak at the minute. Like he can't stop winning.
Yeah.
He is winning all day. You should get a hat that says winning, a
And
T-shirt
he
that
brought
says
his
winning.
own army this time.
Let's not talk about the army.
Oh, okay.
He's not winning any awards for that, is he?
Hey, he did it himself.
Well, that's true.
He did.
That's true. That's true. I don't know
Don't take it
how
off.
that gets allowed sometimes, but that's fine. But again, that's Dan's Masters list. You must have all seen it by now. He just doesn't lose games, basically.
No.
He did lose a game this weekend, but this is what, like, he basically is like 30 games deeper.
So what did he lose against?
Against Steve Curtis's Legions of Nagash.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't Joe have...
From Ninja Badger.
Yeah, didn't Joe take...
Mr. Joe Purcell.
Didn't he
He
have the
did
same
also
list?
take the same Mark Wildman TM
Yes.
list, but didn't do quite as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because Joe was mainly focusing on just having a great time.
Yeah, he didn't care at all.
Yeah.
He was so happy.
No, it was also Dan's birthday as well that day on the Sunday, and it was Will's his teammate's birthday on the Saturday.
Oh,
So
I
the fact that
didn't know
those
that.
guys ended up winning the tournament, they've got to be over the moon about.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a nice like
Double whammy.
conjunctivitis of joy.
Lots of tears.
Fuck. And then, speaking of Will, he ran Deepkin, and then he's got he had his enclave was Futhen, and then he's got the Tidecaster, who is his general. He's got the Ikelian King. He's got the Soul Scryer, 3 units of Tender Mighty Thralls, and 9 of Morsar Guard, then 2 6s of Morsar Guard. So more eel heavy than we saw like James Tinsdale's list win last week, but just really solid, right?
Yeah.
Rock hard. And Will plays it incredibly well. Just plays it really well.
Yeah. He's a good player.
He's
Really
a great
good
player. One to watch as well.
Yeah.
Like Will often like goes 4-1 at many an event, and I don't think over necessarily gets like in because he's a bit. I've asked him to do interviews before, and he said, "Oh, I've got." Like, he's a teacher,
Yeah.
so he likes to just keep it on the low, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a solid gamer.
Just keep saying his name over and over.
Yeah, Will Barton. He famously is known as One Turn Will.
Yeah.
Matt Fashby says conjunctivitis is a gum disease. I'm not 100% sure you used that word correctly. I would agree. And then finally, Dan Ford. I don't think he needs any introduction. The one-man call machine himself. But he's got the Murder Host, which effectively is his army.
Yeah.
Other people run the Murder Host, right? But isn't
But
Murder...
not like him.
Yeah, if you say Murder Host, I see Dan Ford
Yeah.
explaining to me how I've lost.
Well, last weekend he won, and this weekend I got to talk to him quite a lot, and he's some really, really good stuff. He knows his stuff, and he's a really great guy to talk to as well.
Who, Dan Ford?
Yeah, because we've not played yet. It's probably quite good, but not what I think. Yeah, for me, I'm like, whew, survived that one. But yeah, it was really good to talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really solid. Really solid. So what do you guys think? I mean, congratulations to those guys. Incredibly tough field, like really, really solid. The French team came to win so hard, you've never seen anything like it. So that was, and I'm going to show you their list in a minute because it's worth looking at. What do you guys think about it?
That's cool. So how many games did the 4 Masters drop? Do we know over the weekend?
How many did they lose over the whole weekend? I don't know if it was many.
Not many. I think Darren went 5-0.
Yeah.
I think Will did as well.
Dan Ford lost against the Phoenix Guard.
Okay, here they come.
Yeah.
Darren was 5 from 5.
Yeah.
Will lost 1 game.
Yeah.
We said Dan. Oh, Dan lost.
Dan went 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Dan Ford would have lost.
No. Yeah,
2.
Dan Ford and
Dan
wow.
Bradshaw also lost 2.
Yeah. So Darren and Will carrying the team there.
So the master only did the same as I did.
He did. Yes.
Yes, well.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr.
creeping up
Walker,
there.
for the bit coverage. That's lovely. Dan B. Kicksass always seems to be winning 99% of the time and being awesome doing it. It says Lady B Miniatures. And they were thrown under the bus apparently according to positive victims.
I threw myself under the bus too.
You were the team captain, right?
I was. I had to throw myself under the bus.
Right. Okay. So, any more thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, really, really, really strong list.
Good.
they are going to do a lot of damage. I mean, the only wild card one I suppose would be Darren's, because we've seen what the Beast can do, and we've seen what the Ardenith can do, and we know what the Murder House can do. But yeah, having that captain with a bit of a throw in the dark, I can do this, must have really just thrown off anybody playing against it. Because you're not expecting to go, I have 0 movement now. You don't expect your game to be like that, do you?
Well, yeah. I think the use of the Mascus Celestial was actually really interesting.
Yeah, the Mascus Celestial is
Really
horrible. Bellicor's quite interesting thing as well.
Yeah, and then mixing them as well. He's a good man, is Darren. Very good man.
Yeah, it's interesting. So then in second place came the Marauders, and again, like we said, it came down to, as our friend Dan in Australia would say, it was a bee's dick is how close it was. But they ended up going, so they came in second place, and third was the Bruceys themselves, Team Balls Deep is the name they gave themselves. So that would be... I
thought you could explain what that name was.
So that was Dan, both Rick and Chris Myhill, and of course Mr. Paul Bastien Games. Easily one of the most gorgeous looking teams in the world, plus Dan.
And fire on the dance floor as well. The Bruces can dance. They can really dance.
Yeah, they can dance. They can dance. So there's a big Saturday night out, wasn't there, with you guys? You all went out and had a fun time.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't say big Saturday night out. We went to the Punch Bowl. We had a choice of Punch Bowl or Octopus.
Yeah.
So we went to the Punch Bowl.
Yeah. So congratulations to all three of the top placing teams, because it was honestly incredibly close points wise.
I got to play against the second players game 1.
Yeah,
that's as close as I got to those lot.
You guys played against the Marauders.
Yes, yeah.
So Speckles, did you have any games that
game changing games? Yeah. Oh, there's a couple.
Okay.
So when I played,
what did you run?
I run my Flesh Eater Courts that I've been running for the same list for the last 3 weekends in a row since they come out.
Yeah,
exactly the same list, everything. And I can tell you now, they are consistently 3 games because I've done 3 game.
Yeah, I mean that's the bottom stats for them.
Yeah,
they're somewhere between 3 and 5.
Yeah, because of me. At least it's lower it.
Heinrad, I think you're in the chat. Heinrad could maybe do 2 with them if he worked his hardest.
I had some. I played good. I played Tom Morsley's list with the Skaven.
Oh yeah.
So I had first turn. That was it. That was my turn over, and then he had a turn. Then he won the roll off, and then I had nothing left
against Tom Morsley.
Wow.
So really interestingly, I saw Paul Buckler play with his Seraphon list, which was quite cool. It had double Bastiladon Seraphon, double Bastiladon with laser beams, so the crystals that do 3 damage as opposed to 2 damage to demons, and obviously all of this. Well, the Skaven Verminlords are demons, and then he also had 4 salamanders which were doing the work over the weekend, according to him. Engines, slans, skinks. And then it was in, I think, Thunderquake Starhost, which was really interesting. And I went to watch that game because he gave the first turn away to
Tom.
This is in round 5.
Yeah.
So did Tom have the list that he had at?
Yeah, exactly the same. Exactly the same. Because they had to put lists in on the day of, in the weekend of Slaughters, when they had to put lists in for Bloodtithe.
Yeah. So it's 4 Verminlords.
4 Verminlords.
And like
some other
Warp Lightning Cot, Vortex, Geminids.
Gracie.
And he took all of the, because what was really cool, you weren't allowed to duplicate War Scrolls across army lists. So like there could only be 1 copy of Geminids in all 4 of the teams. So some great comping by Mark, just making really solid choices. But he had like all the good spells really, which Tony was saying. He was like, "Oh, I wanted the good spells," and Nigel was very upset.
He got some good spells. He liked those spells when he played one of our team players. He was using them really well. Yeah, the Flesh Eater Court spells are good.
Yeah, no, they are good. Yeah,
really good.
But it's also nice to have the other good spells, right?
Yeah.
And then so that was really interesting. Paul gave the turn away, and then his first. Oh, he also had a Carnosaur with, and this is a wicked shout, the Gildan Blade. if you know what that does.
No, what does that do?
So basically, if you get within 3 inches of a character, then it just turns off their artifact.
Oh yes.
Which he went for that on his.
Great.
Yeah, great. So he would just be walking up to characters and be like, haha, and then he shoot them with like all of his shooting or something like that. So it was really, really, really clever in my opinion. But he gave away the first turn, and then in his first turn he lost the Carnosaur, 3 of the 4 salamanders, both of the Bastiladons were on half wounds, the engine took some wounds, and then the Deceiver charged in and locked up one of the Bastiladons. And by turn 2 he had nothing left, like, even though he won the priority. Like, and I don't know if there was anything he could have done, but like it was a matchup I was quite excited. It was a matchup I was quite excited about watching, and then I came back and I was like, oh,
it's gone.
Maybe this wasn't as interesting as I had in my head.
It's really interesting at the beginning.
Yeah,
but then you only need a beginning when you just decimate your army.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool.
So you think it was a mistake giving the turn away? You should have taken
honestly, I don't really know. I spoke to him after, and he was like, he said I didn't make a lot of those 4-up saves on the Bastiladon, and really his army can take the mortal wound output from Skaven a little bit better than some of the lists that were rocking around. But it was just, and Paul's army looked incredible. Yeah. But it was, I don't know, it just caught my attention. Skaven versus Seraphim, right?
When you spoke to him after, he said the only person that went for it, and that's what you should do apparently, was me.
Oh my god, Dan Unsupervised's in the chat. Big love to you, Dan Unsupervised, you gorgeous man. Sorry, say that again.
Tom was saying when he spoke to us after, he says the only person that went for it was me. I just didn't know what it could do.
Went for what?
I took the first turn, and because I dropped first, and I chose to go first, and everybody else gave him the first turn, or he took the first turn. So he can do the massive damage, take out half the army.
But I still think that was a 5-0 list from the weekend, realistically. So that was, that was.
Well, he did. He went 5-0.
Yeah. So, Tech6, hello. I am considering starting with AOS. Is Nurgle a good army to start with? It is. Everyone in the chat will give you some real good info.
What was that compendium shit?
Legion or something or other.
Yeah.
Wow. Dan and Supervised calendar is going off, buddy. You can't wear shorts anymore. What was I going to say? That was it. Yeah, so first, second, third, did that. We were talking about your games.
Sorry. Oh, yes. That's right. So first game I played the Marauders, really good. I got battered. Although one of my team members won. It was great.
Yeah.
Then we played Hydra next.
Okay.
So, and then I played their captain, Greg, who had the Dreadwood, and he just launched it at me within 3 inches straight away. I was like, oh, this is going to hurt, and I had it all on the line. I was like, this is going to really hurt. And he split the attacks from Alariel into my Archregent, who I think is like the only person this weekend that actually took a shot at it.
Yeah.
And my Ghoul King on Terrorgeist, and just didn't do enough. He did enough to kill the Archregent, but as soon as the Terrorgeist was alive, it just doesn't do much to its attack power when it loses. And I just whomped it in one round of combat. Just flat basic Terrorgeist.
Really?
No buffs, nothing. Just battered it. And then I just rolled over his army eventually. Wow. Then we played the French team. They were really good. Played against Nagash. That was super hard. He castled up really, really well. I was like, well, I'm going first, or I get the choice. And I was like, no, you go first. But no, you won. I was like, I know, you go first. I think it threw him off. It's like I was expecting you to just compound him, and he just chucked a spell portal out, and I think that was about it. And I crept a little bit further forward, and I won the roll off, and he had a gap between his battle line and Nagash. I just launched a dragon into it and did 15 wounds to Nagash, because I could reach over the top. So the Maw and the Claws did 15 wounds to Nagash, and I think I took quite a few wounds back, but because I had 3 or 4 wounds left, I said, well, if you kill him, he's within D3 of Nagash, so it could kill you. And he ended up killing my Terrorgeist, did 2 wounds to Nagash, and killed himself.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. I
saw him outside smoking. He was like, he
was a really great guy, but I'm like, wow, well, I've never played against Nagash, and I've never seen Nagash kill himself, but yeah, he did.
So what? The bats killed him when the
yeah, just went kaboom, and I wasn't expecting it. And then I had a really interesting first game Sunday morning.
So I saw a tweet on Sunday morning.
You did, didn't you?
I saw a tweet on Sunday morning.
I saw one.
Does anyone know if Speckles is any good at Age of Sigmar?
Who sent that tweet?
It was the Grot Terrorist himself, Mr. Donald Taylor.
Yes.
A wonderful man who, by the way, round 5 I saw him in a mirror match with Gloomspite, but he was against all spiders. Which was really cool. That was
really cool.
Yeah, it was really
Somebody
cool.
took all spiders.
Yeah, he got fucking battered all weekend, I think.
One of the angels took all squigs.
Nathan, there was a 3 more crusher list. Look,
Cool.
people don't give a fuck about the rules. Just like that. Hey, do you want to win this team event? They're like, I've got 3 more crushers, baby. Yeah, I'm winning. And then everyone else is like, you are not.
But yeah, when I played Donal, he was like, I've already smashed a couple of Terrorgeist lists out, no problem. I think he was like, yeah, I can. I beat 3 Terrorgeists in 2 rounds. And I was like, oh my god, I'm getting battered. And I said, you know what, I'm calling you out. And he put himself down, and I was like, right, I'm going to put my list.
What scenario was it?
It was the 3 places of Arcane Power.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I put the Nurgle list down, which is probably one of our strongest lists in that scenario, with 3 great and clean ones. It would have tanked it.
Yeah.
So he knew he couldn't have done enough damage to stop them. So he's like, I'm taking on Speckles. He's shit. Little did he know.
Agreed.
Little did he know. Mini mistakes. I mean, he did say he made a bit of a big mistake. He put his Troll Hag on the line, unguarded, and had a Terrorgeist close enough to swing out. And I nearly killed it in 1 round of combat. I was like, yes! And I was like, fuck. And then I got introduced to Fanatics. There,
Wait, so you charged the Troll Hag?
Yes.
And then you only fought once?
No, I fought twice. Obviously.
I love fleshing your court players. They're like, oh yeah, I beat you in 1 round of combat. I'm like, oh, you only fought once? No, I fought twice.
I didn't beat
1
it.
round of combat for me is 2 rounds of combat. Yeah, okay.
Well, I didn't beat it. And then he pulled out his Fanatics, and I genuinely felt fucking gutted for him. He rolled 18 for the attacks. I was like, fuck, this is it. Terrorgeist is gone. He's going to take that side, take that flank, and I'm fucked. And he rolled 4 hits out of all of them, and he just face dropped.
Yeah, 4-ups are hard to roll.
Yeah,
4-ups are really hard to roll.
Yeah.
I prefer 5-ups to 6-ups. They're more risky.
And I saved 3, and then when it's D3 damage, I only did 1. I was like, those dice fucking hated you this morning. I was like, and
that's
I felt
nice of
bad.
you.
I felt bad for him.
Oh.
But he did some really tricksy stuff with his grots that was all intertwined through my whole army. I was like, well, I've got nothing left to attack, so you might as well go with your horror. And I just went clink. Oh, nothing. Right, well, now even that, all this activates through everywhere and just tangled everything up. I was like, what the fuck? How does this happen? He just hit everything.
Was he playing the game?
Really well. Really well. Yeah, and he just, once he lost that, and I murdered his Mangler with a single round of combat.
Wow.
In fact, with just 3 rolls of dice, but
half a round of combat.
You mean half a round of combat from one monster?
I just did the more, and I think I did 12 damage, and that just took it off. But I think he lost the roll-offs as well. It just didn't go well for him. It was a really, really good game, and for Sunday morning, forcing my brain to actually wake up to do something, I really had to play really well. So.
What's funny is the Twitter where I saw him retweet.
I know,
his own
it made
tweet,
my
and he
weekend.
went, I regret this, and I was fucking crying, in the hotel lobby, just on my own. Yeah, everyone's just other people getting onto flights and air flight attendants, and they were looking at this idiot just screaming with laughter at his own
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, really.
Fair play to him doing that though as well. And then I played Northern Ireland, and they have a Daughters of Cain list.
Yeah.
With Colin Cochrane, and I was like, fuck, I want to play that. I need to see what it does. And I chucked 1 souped up Terrorgeist, 6 flayers, another souped up Terrorgeist, 6 round of attacks, 30 Witch Elves died. That was it. Because I took a Terrorgeist, souped it up, took my flayers, screamed, shot, attacked, everything. I killed like 11. I was like, fuck. I was like, my whole army just sat at his front door. I was like, well, I'm going to die because if I win the roll off, 2, and he rolled a 2, I was like, yes, and I realised he went first. Like, no. He's like, well, I've got this game, so let's just try some stuff out. You have the turn, and we'll see what you can do.
Oh, what a nice man!
Well, I think we just went become scientists that game because we know I couldn't do it. So then he let me soup up the other Terrorgeist at the same time. The other Terrorgeist, the other one was still alive with 1 flare left, and I put that into the same unit of 30 Witch Elves. Did 51 hits through, and I just killed it to +1 of them. So I killed 31 with 2 souped up Terrorgeists and 6 flares.
Wow.
And then
they have the blessing of Cain on them, did they?
Yeah, then they had the reroll 5 saves, and then I made him no dice out from this man when he chucked in his unit of 30 into my other Terrorgeist. I was like, you're going to roll all your dice, all of them. I'm going to make you. So he specifically didn't buff them off anymore, so we had less dice to roll. And 17 did, I think it was 21 damage after he rolled 75 dice.
So are you saying Daughters of Cain still good?
No, not good. Ridiculous.
Wow. Okay.
I just that much attacks. I mean, I think we did like 110 attacks into 1 unit of 30 just to kill that. And I was like, fuck, he's still got another 2 of these 30s. And I had to put absolutely everything in. And I didn't even roll that bad. I mean, my rolls had been pretty good. But when I was doing that, they were quite good. And to take out like 100 damage, just to go.
Heinrad disagrees intensely because he took Daughters of Cain to an event. And
yeah, I did play.
One of only people to get 1 win with them. Yeah. One of 2 people in the world. The other person quit playing.
Weirdly enough, when I played Heinrad with my flesh-eater courts, I just took him off. They just went.
So Donald in the chat is saying I beat 2 Daughters of Cain at the weekend and then I lost to Speckles.
yeah. What made it even funnier is Colin then went after beating me, went straight over to Donald and went, well, I can beat Speckles.
What I like is you're now now the punchline. Like if someone loses you to, they're like, fuck.
Well, you've lost to me. Nikos has lost to me. This man here has never lost to me.
Never at a tournament, Speckles.
I thought I'd lost to you.
We've only played 1 game.
Never at a tournament, Speckles. Never where it counted. Where we weren't having fun.
Yeah, because Flesh Eater Courts having 2 rounds of combat's pretty bad. What did you do when you played me?
I had 2 turns. That's different.
Yeah, 2 full turns.
That was in the olden days when you had a Starseer that could re-roll stuff.
Yeah, so that's the only time we played at a tournament. You had 2 full turns against my Flesh Eater Courts back then.
That was actually really fun. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I'm now into Flesh Eater Courts so much. That's the best.
So like this double combat, I'll just have 2 turns.
So one of the things I think was interesting was army compositions for the weekend, and again we go back to the interviews at some point when you get to watch them, you'll see. But one of my takeaways from watching everyone out at the weekend was there were some thoroughly thought out army lists and the way that you would put. So as a team captain, do you want to tell people how that worked for you guys?
With me, I mean, I was really lucky because I had 3 amazing guys and really good lists, and they did really well. And I know they're watching, and you did me fucking proud. And I'm hoping you can all stick together for another year. We'd be really good. So I've not been in charge of the matchups before, and I kind of went in a little bit blind against the Marauders. I was like, let's have some shits and giggles, fine. But then when it come to the last game, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and match this up, and it's really well. You can really balance out a game, well, as best you can, with the good matchups. Really, really works.
Or not, depending if you get there.
Well, yeah, I mean, not for Donal.
Wow. Oh, wow.
He's a great player, but he was really proper boasting. Really boasting at the beginning. Really badly.
Okay.
He was like, I smash you to pieces.
But so, yeah, effectively what would happen is people, you would try and get good matchups, right? For your team.
I mean, there was some bad matchups that we just couldn't help because you can only do so much. When you've got when you put 2 down or you put 3 down, you kind of trying to force their choices rather than just pick which one you can smash. It does make it interesting. It's really good. I mean, when I played with you when we were Team Wales, that was great. and it just is a completely different way of looking at gaming when you have a team event.
The matchup process is quite good. I always think the scenario is more important than the actual match than the matchup itself.
Colin, the Daughters of Cain player, he only lost one match, and that was 3 places of Arcane Power because he played Sylvaneth and he couldn't get his cauldron up the trees to get back down again to the thing. So he lost because of the scenario.
What I found really interesting was, and I think a great shout by Mark, 2 things he did this weekend which I thought were interesting was, number one, there were no realm spells or realm command abilities. So there was no playing in the realms, which was a nice, because there was a nice non-addition to the information that you needed on top.
Great, because last time I had Arcan, I would have had loads of spells, but I've got Flesh Eater Court, so I don't really care.
But I think that was actually, that seemed like a positive realistically, especially with the language barrier.
Yeah, definitely.
Like all the guys that came from the other countries were doing great, so that's not a criticism of them.
No.
But like even all English players like playing, they can generally.
There's a language barrier between English players. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Also, little side note: you know, in Swedish, do you know that Arcane Bolt, when they got their rules written for it, it's translated as secret lightning. And I'm only ever going to say I've just casted secret lightning now.
They've got some great translations. Jonathan was telling me the other day. I was crying.
Who doesn't want to cast secret lightning? That's
Can you keep a secret? Bam! Now you can.
Also, Tony Moore at one point he was playing against Laurie in this really tight game, which was really, really interesting. And at one point he said, "Oh, I need to cast the Hitler," and I was like, and then so you guys may or may not know, but one of the key things that can happen in your hero phase is freeing up a unit in combat by doing an arcane bolt, doing the cheeky final wound which kills them, and then you're good to go. And then so I was like, oh my god, has he just referenced Arcane Bolt as the final solution? I was like, what the I was like, sorry Tony, what did you just say? He's like, the Hitler. And then he gets out the Maelstrom and the spell. He was like, it's only one ball, like Hitler only had one ball. And I was like, we were in such different places.
It was getting really dark, but no, it was fun.
I was like, oh my god, I was so tense during that moment.
This is Hitler, and here's Goebbels.
So yeah, that made me laugh. What was it? So another interesting. So no realms, great.
Yeah.
I thought that was just for me.
Yeah.
Like watching those guys play, but those guys can give you their experiences, I'm sure, in some medium somewhere. Well, I thought anyway, looking at it, and it made it easier to see what was happening on the tabletop as well. What was the other thing? No realms. Oh, and the final scenario, which I thought was great, was Border War.
I loved it.
We talked about last.
Blood and Glory?
Blood and Glory, sorry. Blood and Glory.
Oh, so
I was like, please tell me I didn't play the wrong one.
Everybody played the same scenario.
Yeah. Everyone in all the matchups.
So it's different from the Six Nations tournament then. Because they roll.
Oh, yes. You roll and each. Yeah.
You can have each team members playing a different scenario.
So because that's a lot more difficult trying to match the scenario with the team player.
Okay,
But no, everyone played just those 5 scenarios. It was. God, what was the first one? I didn't have much to do with it. What was the first scenario? Anybody in the chat, or Rob, or
what were
the scenarios? It was Blood and Glory,
3 places of Arcane
Power.
Yeah. Importantly, though, what was important was the final one was the one we talked about, with Blood and Glory that we talked about last week, right? And that was really nice because that basically it's very hard to win.
Yes,
and make it a decider. And I thought that was Focal Points was one of the other ones. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah.
And so I just thought it was, and also Manik Jackson secret missions only 4 was a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell people what that means?
So when you did your matchups after that, you could then allocate secret missions. You can either 1 each, or 1 player can have 2. So you could work out the matchups and go, right, okay, well you've got no behemoth, so you're fighting against no behemoth, so you don't take that one. You take, you can kill the battle line. You have that, so you can kind of work out what secret mission you can get, which is an additional 5 points.
So the secret missions were 4 for the whole team.
Yeah, for the team.
So like one team member could just be doing the secret missions.
Yeah.
Whilst everybody else was like.
Oh no. So only one team member could have 2,
Okay.
and the others had 1 each. Yeah.
Or 2 players could have 2.
Yeah.
Huh?
2 players could have 2.
No, only one player could have 2.
Only one player could have 2.
Yeah. And then it was one just didn't have one.
Okay.
So say if you, I don't know, you just can't do anything at all. Which, well, I gave up mine. The daughters came list. I was like, don't give them me. I'm not going to do anything to this list.
Hawkeye, thanks. Gift of the Heavens was one of the other one.
Yes.
Gift of the Heavens was the first one. Or was one of them. Focal Points, Gift of the Heavens.
Yeah. Oh no, Gift of Heavens was game 3.
Okay. So yeah, long story short, thank you very much, Scriver. That's way easy. He's just linked the pack in the chat. But I thought that was cool because we talked about that scenario last week. I was really excited about it. And what was interesting, Mark had put that pack together already months and months ago.
Yeah.
So which again was just great TO.
It's good. It's easier to define scores as well. Having one way the final going right now, you've really got to push it to do a major. Or it defines where the better players are, or the better matchups are for you. Really like doing that game.
It was really good, and I thought it was a great decider for round 5. It made it super tense watching because as we said, 5 teams could potentially win the tournament. So watching like 20 players all playing very tense final game, I was like, oh my god.
Okay.
So, I really like that, and I think that was a great decision.
But it's good though. So the best thing about it, when it was so tense, everyone kind of, if you'd lost your game or you won your game, everyone kind of didn't just bugger off and oh shit. They all stuck with their team going, come on, we've got it. And towards the end, it was just crowds of people watching their team play going, come on, you can do this and we can win. It was really good. Like Dan Ford's final game, I think that was a
lot of people. Well, that was one of the final. That was one of the final games. So actually, most of the teams were basically hoping one of those two,
on one side or the other.
Yeah, on one side or the other to try and win. So it's actually quite impactful.
Yeah, but it was weird just watching the crowd build and going, what's going on?
Are you saying it's a spectator sport, Speckles?
Saying it possibly could.
It'll never catch on. I don't believe in that. Bruce Hammer says, I had the best last round ever. Team Fiction was an absolute pleasure to play. Yeah, so Balls Deep were against Team Fiction. That's how you do it.
Sure.
Yeah, Team Fiction. Do you want to try? Okay, good. Luvo has just said also. Luvo made a point. So in his final round, he had to fight 150 Grimgas Reapers, which weren't all on the board at the start, but he just kept chewing through Grimgas Reapers.
Oh, you had the guy with 120.
Well, I think it was 90, and then he killed 90, but then there were just more on the board because the guy was just spending command points, and he was just like, I've never killed so many fucking ghosts.
Piss off ghosts!
He was like, piss off ghosts, piss off more ghosts, piss off all these fucking ghosts. He was super triggered. Speaking about that, there was another matchup which was amazing where it was 120 Grimgas Reapers versus 90 Grimgas Reapers. And the entire board was just they were just...
seas of ghosts.
and they were like, oh, can we agree that these are just an inch apart? Because if they touch, all our units are going to fall apart on all the sides. They're going to connect. And it's going to be a terrible...
Yeah, if one of those sides gets next to another, that's it. Just every single Reaper would just intertwine. That would be it. Like Christmas tree decorations.
So
Reapers.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to say that was interesting about the team comp, going back to it, because obviously some people designed fast lists or aggressive lists or a Nurgle list was quite common to be defensive, which is smart, right?
Yeah, because you work out when we had maneuverability with these. With all our team, with the board control from our Sylvaneth player, the Nurgle list, we had the rapid attacks from the Slaanesh player, and my fact that I'm playing, so it doesn't really matter what I do. But
so one of the things I really loved is the French team. One of the French teams, there were 4. Sorry. So this is Revenge for Joan of Arc. They more polarized their army in a sometimes we'll talk about polarizing army lists, and you guys all know. But just for people who are new, so you can have a gun line that doesn't move. Dwarfs.
They don't need to.
They don't make a gun line actually.
Do they not?
No.
Can't shoot far enough.
Yeah, dispossessed dwarves.
Can they shoot far enough, or is it not?
No.
The bullet's not quick enough.
Speaking of the gorgeous Greek guys, there they are.
Here they are.
Yeah, George is in the chat. Big love to you guys. But what was really interesting from the French team was that they'd gone for every single one of their lists was a Horde list. So they had a Horde Daughters of Cain army, so with 120. I think there were 60 sisters and 60 witch elves. There was 120 Grimghast Reapers. There was 120 Phoenix Guard with 2 Phoenixes, which was just.
Did he go 5-0? He must have done.
He didn't lose all of his models at any point because it was dumb, crazy good.
In combat, that will never lose.
It just was amazing. And then the final list was Grimghast Reapers. It was the Skinks.
Oh yeah.
So that was a really interesting build as well. So there was 120 Skinks on the board as well. So it was just all hordes all the time. Yeah. So that must have been hard. And I obviously didn't have to do any kind of matchups at any point. But I was really interested to get the feedback from the team captains and what it was like. Because that's like, what do I fight first? Any of these unkillable fucking shit things?
Who's good at hordes? None of us. Shit. I mean, we were lucky because I'm being team captain and we didn't get that high to fight those. I kind of fucked it for the team, but we didn't have to take that. There was lots of stuff. It's always weird when you go, right, who's taking the hit? Who's going against this shit? That we just can't deal with.
I think Philippe was running the Phoenix Guard, and he's a lovely man. I played him at the doubles, him and Christoph, who's running the Grimghast, and then Gwillem was running Seraphon, so I don't know who's running the Witch Elves. But I just thought that was really interesting. Like they come really serious, lots of prep notes and lots of hard work. But it was really interesting seeing that they polarised their team. I thought that was actually really cool.
I've got a fun one. So. Chris, our Sylvaneth player, he's never played Daughters of Cain. He was like, I've never played that, I could take that on. I was like, what? When we played the French, I was like, fine, that's fine with me. And he was sat next to me, he was like, I've got these hunters, man, they're just going to be in his face and I'll just nuke his army. I'm like, no it won't. He's like, I've got it. It's only Daughters of Cain. They're just women or little. No. He didn't say that. Say that. No.
Wow.
Before it goes global.
Wow. Who said that?
Nathan.
Oh wow.
He says it should be easy. I was like, wow, you're never ever going to do this. And then after 20 minutes, he's like, they're not going to die ever. And his whole army just got slowly taken off. I was like, is it fun playing Daughters of Cain?
No. Plug in our female viewer. You're a dick.
It's you just never beat Daughters of Cain. But he's when we played Team Ireland, I was like, do you want another go at Daughters of Cain? You've got those hunters. No, I don't want to take that on ever again.
I think what was the best painted team? The Greeks were pretty well painted, but it went to Paul Buckler won an award for the best painted
I think
army.
Personally for me, seeing what it was the Swedes did, that was so well done.
And now we get to the story of the weekend, the drama. So obviously there can't be an Age of Sigmar event anymore without there being drama, right? I mean, it would be nice if it couldn't, but I've got to tell you now the unfortunate news. So, the Nordic countries...
I was like, where's he going to go with this?
Yeah, the Nordic countries, they... so I did, again, some of the interviews I did with them, I was like, who would you guys like to play? And both Team Sweden were like, we obviously want to play Team Norway, because they are our, like, colony, or backward children, or, like, whatever they said. And... So then it turned up in round 5, the final round, that Team Sweden were against Team Norway, right? And it's their first international AOS matchup ever. So it's the beginning of their Ashes. I spent a good long 5 minutes explaining to them what the Ashes were, and then I had to explain what cricket was. So it all became like a very long-winded thing. Okay. Yeah. So I told them that they needed to burn their skis and put them in a pot or something. Or it could be for the best type of moose flank. They played, and it was the tensest game
silence
of just really fun guys having a great time. Like it wasn't tense at all, apart from the sheer level of shit each player was giving each other if they lost a game was unbelievable.
You lost to them?
Yeah, because it was like national pride, like beyond what both members of the Welsh team who are Welsh have. Like
no, there's only one.
Yeah, basically T Wales only exists because Mark has got all of the Welsh national pride in his heart, which is gorgeous.
And he's not the Welshman.
But yeah, the Swedish and the Norwegians were battling it out, and it was just hilarious to watch. And they were constantly tense and constantly angry at each other. And then eventually, while the Swedish team captain did beat the Norwegian team captain, the Swedes got a major win and a minor win. The Norwegians got a major win and a major win. So Norway officially can claim being better at AOS than Sweden. I don't want that to be true.
Well,
I don't want that to be true.
That would mean there's another person who is bad as me. The whole country is coming to me.
Jonathan, our Swedish member, in the chat said, "But if you've seen Vikings, you know it's only the leader versus leader that matters." Two Christian says, "I'm excited for Team Canada with at LLV." Both of them.
A whole country of speckles. There you go.
Amazing.
Yeah, Matt Ashby, if you're watching, Mark did say he would love to have an American team over at some point, having an Australian team over as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's the new ETC, but it might be the new ETC. So yeah, looked like a fun time. But yeah, tough breaks for Sweden
this year.
What?
It's this year.
This year.
It's
a whole year though of jokes we get to make.
Yeah.
When anything ever Jonathan says
could
anything,
possibly
we can be like
2 years of jokes as well.
Although at the end, actually, what was really cool is the Swedish team did actually invite the Norwegian team to Sweden for another round, another matchup.
Ooh,
which was cool.
I
thought.
Yeah.
So I think the Norwegian team are all already skiing their way there. I don't know how long it takes, but
give me my
give me one. I will back you all. But it was an amazing weekend, and again, massive shout out to the winners. So that again, Team 4 Masters 1 Cup. Second place, big shout out to the Marauders, and third place, obviously the Bruceys. Sorry, more than that, Team Bowls in deep.
And a big thank you to. So originally our team was Cursed with Years, but then Mark just kept putting up the Cursed, which I thought was quite good for us. I was like, that's definitely my team, isn't it? And thank you all for doing it and being part of the Cursed.
But it looked like an amazing event, and I really wish I could have gone to play. But I was happy I got to do the interviews. It was really fun. I got to interview Steve Curtis, and I think I could probably listen to Steve Curtis talk about Warhammer all day. I got to hang out with Mark and talk to him. I never really got to meet him before, but the man, smart, dedicated, and just
he knows
seems
his stuff really well.
I really like talking to Mark. And so if you haven't got the chance, so I think the London GT is a bag of shit. But because I think the organiser's an idiot, and I think he fucked everyone off last year, and you should never give him money. But Mark is organising their Age Sigmar event, and I'm tempted to go.
He will do really well.
Yeah, maybe even do the coverage, because I know under Mark's umbrella that will be a safe event.
So, he doesn't mess around. He's like, well, I've come to do this, and this is, I want people to have fun and do this. That's it. I don't want to fuck anyone around. It needs to be like that. It's really well done.
I was interviewing the Angel Cast guys this weekend, wonderful dudes, and Mark came over and was like, end the interview, we're doing the awards right now, and I was like,
okay,
fucking, I'm so sorry, let's go, which, because he's like, people need to leave, and he was all about that, so wonderful person, and
he did nearly cock knock me with the microphone at the very end. He was like, and that's it, and just launched it at me. Luckily, I had quite good reflexes. Otherwise, that would have mean lots of high-pitched squeals.
Yeah. So,
like millimeters away. I'm like,
yeah. So he'll do a great job, which was cool. We were, honestly, the Honest Wargamer. So Nathan Speckles, everyone involved in the Honest Wargamer, everyone in the Twitch chat. We won an award, which was cool.
You did,
for the best podcast and show. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Well done.
We weren't the only ones there, but that was still nice.
Yeah, skills, well done.
One of one. Well done, you. It's us.
I wasn't there. Yeah, you did
it was us. It's us as a.
Well, I can't really clap.
And then, what else was the takeaways from that? Just team events seemed really solid.
There should be a lot. Team events are they are a lot harder than normal events, I think, because if you get a drop out in a normal event, who cares? It's fine. You have one stand-in that sometimes plays or doesn't, and plays or doesn't, when people are dropping in and out. Whereas team events, if people drop out, it becomes a big deal
Yeah.
because you can't have odd numbers, and then you can't go, oh well, just one of your team gets sit down this round. You don't want to do that. So it is a lot more. It must be a lot more frustrating.
Yeah, it's a big commitment.
Yeah, big commitment.
And he did really well. I mean, my team had a lot of bad stuff that happened, so unfortunately we didn't get all the original team, but I got a better team. I got rid of 80. The hip replacement went well though, so don't worry. I'm glad you're recovering now. But he was like, "Don't worry about it, lads." The original one just crumbled away.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, he's like, "Don't worry about it. We'll get you some players," and he got us some really, really good players. So it was
Cool.
great.
That's great. Well done. Yes, a wicked event, and I'd love to go to more. It was also fun interviewing everyone, and it was really exciting actually getting to film the Greek fellas. Well, that might be the first of the interviews I put up tonight, because after this show I'm editing also. The show's going to be a little bit shorter than usual because I'm hoping to get them all edited tonight, and then up over the next couple of days while it's still fresh in everyone's minds. But if you've ever seen Enthusiasm, you've never seen it like this. Like they were like, and doing the interviews was really great because it was nice letting everyone have their own voice instead of. So thanks to Mark for giving us the opportunity. 'Cause, not doing coverage how we traditionally do it, but letting me interview people, because I really enjoyed that. It was nice getting to watch the guys all interact. I think we got Paul and the Bruces and Dan in an interview, and it was mildly airable, which is impressive if you're in the community. And
That's really impressive.
Yeah, like it would. But I didn't get to talk to the Germans at all. There were like a bunch of other teams I wanted to talk to.
My team.
Huh?
My team.
I didn't get to interview your team,
You
but
interviewed
you were
me
always
after
in
the
that.
game.
You were always in that side room. Call it the side room, the bottom room.
The side rooms were really nice. Don't knock the bottom rooms. The side rooms were really nice because it had sweets, tubs of sweets.
Oh, the special place.
Yeah, but when so Andy Hughes was a gent and let me have his second breakfast.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. So I got breakfast. So I was supplying him with sweets, and he only lost one game, and that was the one game I didn't give him a pack of Love Hearts. So those sweets are doing something.
Yeah. So Nathan, not called the special place, called the Speckles place.
Where grots go to die.
Wow.
Sorry, but it's the only person I've beaten in the special room, and I played in it twice. So.
I also got to meet Gitley this weekend. Gitley watches the show all the time. I never got to it was really cool because he interviewed himself via his Twitch channel, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I know who you are. So that was really cool. The sweet chairs.
They
in the
were
side room.
so comfy. In
Oh, were they?
You could sit there. You could sit for hours and play games. Like, quite enjoying this, and then you get bottles of water on the table, and it was so relaxed, so nice, and not sweaty or anything like the other hall must have been.
But yeah, also the Angel Cast guys were there. Like there were loads of great people. It was a wicked event. So I'm just waffling on now for no reason. So amazing event. If you get the opportunity to do it next year, we definitely, as long as Mark says it's okay, I want to do the actual. We cover 4 games. We do the team coverage matchup thing. Get Chuckle Buddy running like on those tense games because honestly, like that last round was gripping.
Yeah.
Like it was gripping because it wasn't 4 games maybe that like. So when we go to Boba, that'll be a really exciting round 5 because maybe there'll be like 5 or 6 people who win the event.
Yeah.
Right. But in this, because there were 5 teams, there were 20 people who could win the event.
Yeah.
Like and they're all the games are finishing at separate times and everyone's invested in just like so fun. So I was and so that's all the Bloodtithe stuff.
Cool.
Do you guys have anything? We can take a couple of questions if anyone wants, but do you guys have anything to add currently?
No, just again a big thanks to Mark and all the other captains that let me be a captain, and then my team as well. Really, really great guys.
Yeah.
Really great guys.
Cool. And do you get much use out of the breast pump?
Well, not yet. No. Surprisingly.
So like as we were packing up, I was like, Speckles was like, "Oh, you're going to put your bag in a different part because the breast pump's in the car now." And I was like, "What the fuck have I just listened to?" Like, I was not expecting that at all.
That was within the first day of me being a captain. I was asked if I could transport a breast pump back up to Derby, which is not what I was expecting to do as a captain. I was like, so this is what captains do, like just move pumps around. I mean, does that mean now I get to choose which captain takes it next year? I could get these pumps going around the world. I mean,
to be touched in the speckles case.
Who do I give it to next? Who do I give it to next year? I mean, what country would like it?
It's like a booby prize, then, is that
what Yeah.
Oh my god.
Deal. Oh.
Fair enough. Cool. Any questions from the chat?
Dan Elkington asks, what sort of breast pump was it? They're normally quite small.
Well, I don't really plan on using it, but I don't know.
Took up half the cars.
Grummelzag says, Rob, do you think the combination, and this is you two obviously as well, the combination of Gutbusters and Beast Core Raiders will be a boost to both factions, or do you think they're better left separate? I think they probably could benefit from being homogenised, I would say. The narrative is fine, but the narrative for Beast Core Raiders is just to steal from Ogre Kingdoms, right? It's like the Great Hunger is chasing them, and then it's like the Big Winter's chasing them. I think they could probably be amalgamated.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
I suppose, I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to figure out how they'd link them, though.
How they would link what?
How they'd link the two.
Yeah, well, I mean, they could. The other guys could be running from the winter as well. Done.
Oh, everyone's now.
Everybody's scared of that fucking cold.
Yeah, everyone's scared of the
winter's
fucking cold.
coming.
Yeah, winter's coming, and they're hungry and they're running forward. That's sold.
I mean, surely with winter's coming, that like the IP on that has just been taken now, and now they've gone, well, we'll just put all the IP for the ogres instead.
No, they should make it so they have to all also wear black, like the whole thing. They could just HJM return.
Just a big wall.
Yeah, they should just steal the whole process, I think. I think they should amalgamate most of them. Like, there's nothing from watching the Skaven play. I was like, this is fun. Like, just do it. Also amalgamate all the good dwarves, because fuck them, they could all just go together. Fireboy is at least you can tell the difference then between Fyreslayers and Dispossessed. Because all the Fyreslayers look the goddamn same. There was a Fyreslayer army there this weekend.
I have a funny story about Fyreslayers from Heat 1. They had some Fyreslayers in the cabinet, and I was with Andy Hughes and my mate Andy. I was like, go on Andy, so out of those 5 models, which 2 of those are heroes? And then Andy Hughes went, there's actually 3. I was like, there's only 6 models, how do I not even realise this?
Because they look the same.
I was like, well, which one is it? I was like, I know
That's
2.
Right, I'm a Fyreslayer racist. Yeah, like, they all look the same and I don't like them. Also, Dan the Supervisor says, eat a sack of dicks, you pork chop. Which I think is fair. That's fine. And also he says, I play Gutbusters, I like them combined with man-eaters and fire-bellies, right?
As long as they stay away from my feck, it's fine.
Yeah, because you're the only person running away from Ogre Kingdoms and Giants.
They don't run away, they just gotta go, I'll give up, and that's it.
Solid, right? Yeah, I think that answers the question.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, thank you very much, both of you, for being on the show.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you so much. Thank you to Jet for farting and making it quite hilarious. Thank you to everyone on the Twitch chat. You guys have obviously been amazing. We've got a stat show tomorrow, and then we'll have a hobby hangout as well. Check out our YouTube for all those interviews and videos going up over the next couple of days. So I hope you enjoy that. Thanks. Thank you for everyone who talked to me this weekend at Bloodtithe.
Yeah, me too. It was great to meet some of you guys. And next year, Team Specs is taking it.
Oh, they're not.
No, my team will, but then they've got to carry me.
Yeah, join our YouTube, which is The Honest War Game, obviously, on YouTube. So subscribe for that. The interviews will go up in the next, 2 days, at some point. And then that's it. That's everything. Thank you to everyone on Twitch and Patreon. You guys are incredible. You should guys be getting your own stuff this week as well. Thank you for all of it, and thank you to you two mainly.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you guys. Twitch chat is great. Best bit about this is the fact that it was cool. One of the Greek guys came up and was like, "We watch the show all the time." I was like, "That's super weird and fun." And then watching him talk to Darren and be like, "I read all your blog posts." And then watching all the other fellas talk to each other, and then actually watching people from all around the world being friends and knowing each other was freaking sweet. And then most importantly, all of them know